Hey everyone, it's Marie. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I have a 12 by 12 scrapbooking layout process for you, and I'm mostly just going to be chatting with you while I scrapbook. So I'm not going to explain a whole bunch of what I'm doing. If you do have questions, or comments, please leave them in the comment section below the video. I mostly just wanted to give you an update of what's going on, what I have coming up, and that kind of thing. And I did recently just announce that I am starting on Patreon, and so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit here today. So this month, February of 2020, is my 5th anniversary here on YouTube, and I have hundreds of videos here up on my YouTube channel that I have created over those past 5 years. And I actually started my channel in 2015 as a result of hurting my back. I know that sounds really weird, but I injured my back in the summer of 2014. And while I was convalescing, I was watching YouTube videos a lot of the time. And I started watching scrapbooking videos. I don't even really know if I knew that they existed before then, but I started just binge watching Tracy Banks, Nicole Jones, Wilna Furstenberg, Shamel, tons of people that, were scrapbooking for a long time on YouTube, but unbeknownst to me, I hadn't been watching. And of course, I had been scrapbooking and card making myself, but I hadn't been watching videos. So anyways, this was really exciting. And finally, in the winter of 2015, I decided that I was going to really be brave and start my own YouTube channel. And there's lots of people that are still on YouTube that started around the same time as me, roughly within the same vicinity. Hannah Lemieux, Heather's Crafty Life, Victoria Marie, Missy Whidden, Rachel Bowman. There's lots of people that are still making videos that started right around that same time. There's plenty of people that aren't making videos anymore that were at that time too. But anyways, and then of course there's been tons of new people that have started as well. So scrapbooking is alive and well here on YouTube, and that's really great. And I'm still really enjoying it, still loving it, and will continue to make videos here on YouTube for sure. Over the years, over those 5 years, lots of things have changed on YouTube. There's all kinds of little new rules and regulations and all that kind of thing. And one of the things that I have heard creators say that have been around in the industry for a long time is don't kind of like put all of your eggs in one basket. You shouldn't sort of like put all of your energy towards one thing. And really, for me, I don't even hardly blog anymore. And so I've decided that I want to change things up because there might be a time when I can't share here on YouTube anymore. I mean, who knows, right? I plan to, but I'm not really sure like what's going to happen in the future. And so I've decided to do some things to add to what I'm doing. And I'm retired now, or at least semi-retired. I do substitute teach at a few of the schools here in the city where I live. I do have a background in teaching both French and English. And so I'm teaching quite a bit at the French immersion school here and also at the high school. And I'm really enjoying that. But I also have lots of downtime. And so I'm spending a lot of time in my craft space. And so just moving forward, I've made some goals and things that I want to do. And one of them was to start a Patreon. And if you don't know what Patreon is a crowd share, crowdfunding platform on the internet where you can go in and you can be a member of someone's Patreon. So then you become a patron, and you can, as a person who owns that Patreon, whatever, like the person who owns that channel, I guess I'll call it, they can set up however much they want to charge their patrons for their content. So when I went in to create my Patreon account, I decided not to do tiers. So how mine is set up is it's just a flat rate. And if you sign up for Patreon, it's set at $3 a month, American, US. You have access to all of the content that I put on there. And the reason why I set it up that way is because I honestly don't want to have to like, because it's going to be a lot to get started, right? Because I don't really know that much about the platform yet. I'm still just learning. And I think that there's a whole lot more that I need to learn about it. And I think I'll do that as I go through the experience of having a Patreon. But for right now, I just wanted to do it as a flat rate and see how much time I have to dedicate to Patreon and work at it at that angle. And so right now, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is try to put up some content there at least once a week. And I don't know. I think that should be very doable for me. I have joined a few more design teams. I have some more announcements to come up for that here on my channel. I am taking on more things because I have more time. So my Patreon is definitely not going to be, it's not going to be like 3 or 4 videos a week. I don't think I'll have time for that, but it will definitely be 1 video a week for sure. And I'm hoping that that can kind of help support the time that I put into YouTube, because any YouTube creator will tell you it's a lot of work to create the videos for YouTube. And I have a ton of free content over the past 5 years that I have devoted to, creating that content, tons of time and, for free. And so I decided that I wanted to start something that would be a little bit different than that to offset the time that I'm putting into the free content. And so that's part of the reason why all of the things considered going on to Patreon or moving forward, having a platform on Patreon. So some of the things that I want to include, or I've been thinking about including on Patreon, for those of you who are wondering, what will you see over there? What kinds of content will there be? Definitely some real-time videos. So videotaping, recording without a voiceover. The first video that I uploaded over there is an hour and 20 minutes long, I think, or something like that. So it's real time. And that's a scrapbooking video that I put up over there. And actually, it's a new episode for the Just Paper, Scissors, Glue, and Tools series that I had started earlier this year. So in January, I started that. So it's an episode of that series. And so some real-time videos. I'm sure that I'll be doing some videos with voiceovers, but I definitely want to do technique sharing, and I want to do product information videos, reviews. I want to continue to do the odd haul video. I want to share things like organization tips. Obviously, scrapbooking videos, 12 by 12. I also have a mini album project that I have planned that I'll be doing over on Patreon as well. It's a Disney album. For those of you who don't know, my husband and I and our daughter and her husband went to Disney World at the end of October, and I have tons of pictures to scrapbook. I have the album and I've got all the supplies for it. So I am going to be doing that on Patreon. I love to do a Traveler's Notebook and 9 by 12 and lots of other formats of scrapbooking that I'm going to be exploring over on Patreon. I also really love art journaling, and I am going to be doing some art journaling techniques and shares over on Patreon as well as some watercolor and probably the odd planner session as well, because I like doing that. I find that it really keeps me on track. I will plan to also, I'm planning on creating some free cut files over there, and some sketches. I want to create some mood boards as well. And I am planning on continuing some series over there on Patreon. So I will have some of my series continuing here on YouTube, but some of the episodes will be specifically and exclusively on Patreon. I'm actually hoping to maybe even try some live streams there once I sort the platform out a little bit more. And I'm hoping to do some kit creation videos as well using my stash, and some double page layout projects for sure. So those are just some of the things that I've been thinking about, and I'm definitely open to what the patrons are asking for over on Patreon as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be something different, something fun and additional, something that I think that people will hopefully enjoy. And so, you know what? It's an experiment and I am going to try it. So we'll see how it goes. And I will keep you up to date here on YouTube with, some of the things that are happening on Patreon so that if you do decide that you want to check it out, you can stay in the loop in that way and find out more about what is happening. So that is about it for my Patreon plans. Yeah, I think it should be fun. And I just wanted to hop on here today and explain to you what I will be doing, what my plan is, because I know some of you have been asking and wondering what it's going to be all about. Now, let me talk about this layout a little bit, which I have obviously not talked about once. I created this layout to begin with a piece of Basil smooth cardstock. I treated that with some Prima transparent, or I should say Prima clear gesso. I applied that with my Prima silicone tool, and then I just went ahead and added some strips of Lindy Stamp Gang Magicals, and that includes, and I've got the little pots in front of me, Pop Rock Purple, Raspberry Lemonade. I used Merry-Go-Round Green. I used some Tilt-O-Wheel Teal. I also used some Orange Creamsicle. I used a little bit of Papa Pink, a little bit of Yodeling Yellow, and a little bit of California Poppy Gold. And if I have time, I will link all of these things in the description box below. I should have time to link that up for you, and so that you can find these things if you want. And I'm also using the Dear Lizzie She's Magic collection. Guys, wasn't this one of your favorite collections from 2019? I love this collection. I just keep going back to it again and again lately. And I love the colors, and I'm trying to get as much of it used up because you know what's coming, right? Her new collection's coming out, and I pretty much always buy it because I don't know. I love it. I love her collection so much. What else are you looking forward to for collections from Creativation? Love Bloom Street. I love Chamel's new collection, Never Grow Up. I'm also loving Vicky Bouton's Wander. Like, I have to have that, obviously, because it's gorgeous. And what else? What else? What else? What else? What am I forgetting? I don't know. I love Amy Tangerine's new collection as well. The Heidi Swap Art Walk. What? That is so gorgeous. So I don't know. I do want to really limit how much of each collection I buy because I have so much stuff, and I've talked about this before. I'm not on a complete spending freeze, but I'm trying not to buy as much stuff. So I feel like I'm probably going to buy a little bit of those collections, but I'm going to try not to buy everything because I don't need everything. Except for Vicky's collection. I might need everything. Anyways, we'll see. I am just doing some magical splatters over here because I did do splatters at the end of those strips, and then I've got them all covered up now with those tickets and hearts and little phrases and whatnot. So I'm just doing the splatters now on the other end in that white area. These photos I printed at, I want to say 3.5 by 2.5, and I printed them in black and white. Obviously, these are Snapchat selfies, and they're just silly selfies, honestly. And I actually took these all on the same day because I'm wearing the same thing in each picture, and I found them in my camera roll when I was looking for pictures for this layout, and I thought, well, I might as well just use pictures of myself since this layout is about, well, Patreon and what I'm doing here on YouTube and what's happening with my exciting life over here in retirement world. I want to tell you right now, retirement is absolutely all it is cracked up to be. I love it. I love the flexibility of just, waking up in the morning and having the whole day ahead of me to just do whatever. And Mr. Clark and I are just really, really enjoying it right now. It's been a lot of fun. And the days that I do have to go over and sub are fantastic because, well, I'm subbing with grade ones and I'm subbing with grade 12s. Isn't that interesting? And so the little grade ones, when I come to school, they're so happy to see me. I just love it. It is so much fun. And it's really great for me to use my French and, because if you don't use it, you lose it for sure. And so that's been really great. And yeah, I'm really loving it, retirement so far. So that is awesome. Now, I did decide to offset my photos here a little bit and put them on an angle. They're not going to look like they do right now. I'm going to show you here in a second, though, roughly how I end up leaving them. And I don't stick them down before the video is over, so I will post a picture of this layout on Instagram so you can check it out. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And I will leave a link in the description box below to my Patreon if you're interested in checking it out. And thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate that you stopped by today, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope to see you here another time on my YouTube channel. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.